Another day, another mythological species to catalog, Quarplex grumbled, his 3 eyes blinking asynchronously as he stared at the holographic display. The mighty Terrans, capable of surviving on a Class 9 death world. Sure, and I'm the Emperor of Andromeda. Quarplex's tentacles danced across the interface, documenting yet another fantastical account of the species called humans. 27 galactic cycles he'd spent in this windowless cube at the Galactic Archives, and not once had his job been interesting. That was, until today. Hey! Quarplex. Your console is acting weird again, shouted Greel from across the room. Fix it before Commander Blackstoid sees it. Quarplex's middle eye swiveled toward the anomalous reading. A small blip, just at the edge of Union space. Unidentified vessel, matching no known configuration. That's not a malfunction, Quarplex muttered, leaning forward. His skin shifted from its bored gray to an interested purple. That's a ship. And it's not in our database. Oh please, snorted Greel, sliding his gelatinous form closer. It's just cosmic debris. Or your console's broken. Again. No, look at the energy signature. It's using some kind of propulsion we've never seen before, Quarplex insisted, his voice rising with excitement. The commotion attracted the worst possible attention. Commander Blackstoid, with her sharp exoskeleton and perpetually disappointed expression, loomed over their workstations. What seems to be the problem, Archivist Quarplex? She clicked, mandibles twitching with annoyance. Commander. I've detected an unknown vessel at the edge of, he thinks he's found humans, interrupted Greel with a bubbling laugh. Commander Blackstoid's compound eyes narrowed. Humans? That ridiculous myth again? Quarplex, your obsession with fairy tales is concerning. But the readings, since you're so interested in this nonsense, you can spend the next 3 cycles investigating these. Humans, she hissed. I want a full report, documenting every reason why they cannot possibly exist. Consider it punishment for disrupting the archives. Again. As if on cue, the blip disappeared from the screen. See? Just a glitch, Greel gurgled, oozing back to his station. Later, in the staff lounge, Quarplex couldn't let it go. I know what I saw, Nira. Nira, his only real friend at the archives, flicked her luminescent antenna sympathetically. Quarplex, humans are just stories. Like the myth that Zebulon V has good food. What if they're not? What if all these scattered accounts across different civilizations mean something? Quarplex's skin flushed with determination. I'll bet you 50 galactic reds they're real. Nira laughed, extending a spindly limb. Easiest money I'll ever make. You're on, my delusional friend. As they shook on it, neither noticed the brief flicker on the main sensor array behind them. Or the hundreds of signals that appeared for just a moment before vanishing again. 3 days later, Quarplex was dozing at his terminal when emergency alarms blared throughout the archives. His 3 eyes snapped open simultaneously, for once. This is not a drill. Multiple unidentified vessels have appeared in Sector 7. All personnel report to emergency stations, boomed the facility-wide announcement. The archives erupted into chaos. Analysts scurried between workstations, tentacles and appendages flying in panic. Greel had liquefied himself entirely into a terrified puddle. How many vessels? Demanded Commander Blackstoid, storming into the room. A trembling analyst replied, 347, Commander. They just appeared. Quarplex's skin flashed a brilliant yellow. Where are they? Exactly where your anomaly was detected, the analyst whispered. The main screen flickered to life, displaying hundreds of sleek, angular ships arranged in perfect formation. The archives fell silent. They're hailing us, someone announced. Commander Blackstoid straightened her exoskeleton. Put them through. The face that appeared on screen had no tentacles, no extra eyes, no exoskeleton. Just smooth skin, bizarre fur on top, and a distinctly non-gelatinous structure. Quarplex felt his third heart stop beating. Greetings, Galactic Union. I am Captain Eliza Morgan of the Earth Exploration Fleet. We come in peace. Quarplex couldn't resist. He turned to Nira and whispered, "You owe me 50 galactic reds." Commander Blackstoid's mandibles clicked rapidly. How? Humans are a myth. Captain Morgan smiled, showing flat, white teeth that made several archivists faint. We've been observing your civilizations for centuries. We felt it was finally time to introduce ourselves formally. 10 minutes later, Quarplex found himself promoted from delusional archivist to senior human expert, standing beside a sweating Commander Blackstoid. You've studied them. You'll represent us, she hissed. But I don't actually know anything about diplomatic meeting. Tomorrow. Their vessel. Each word punctuated with a threatening click. That night, Quarplex frantically reviewed every scrap of human information in the archives. According to one account, humans greeted each other by slapping their limbs together. Another suggested they communicated through rhythmic body movements called dancing. The next morning, a sleepless Quarplex boarded the shuttle to the human flagship. Just don't get us all killed, Commander Blackstoid warned. No pressure, muttered Quarplex, clutching his hastily prepared notes. As the shuttle docked with the enormous human vessel, he practiced his greeting dance and rehearsed his opening line, "Hello Earth beings. I come to slap appendages with you in friendship." Nira gave him a pitying look. We're all going to die. Quarplex burst through the airlock, arms flailing in what he believed was the traditional, human dance of peaceful intentions. He froze mid-wiggle when he saw 5 humans staring at him with expressions he couldn't interpret. Are you having a seizure? Asked Captain Morgan, one eyebrow raised. No. This is how humans greet each other, with the dancing and the limb-slapping, Quarplex explained, still wiggling. The humans erupted into loud barking sounds that Quarplex eventually realized was laughter. His skin turned a mortified blue. Where did you get that idea? Captain Morgan wiped her eyes. We just shake hands. Commander Blackstoid glared at Quarplex, mandibles clicking furiously. The meeting moved to a conference room where Quarplex couldn't stop staring. Humans were nothing like the archives described. They walked on 2 legs without falling over. They drank water, actual H2O, without dissolving. And they smiled constantly, exposing those flat teeth that somehow seemed more terrifying than any predator's fangs. So, began Admiral Jenkins, a tall human with silver fur on his face, we'd like to discuss mutual defense agreements. Defense against what? Asked Commander Blackstoid suspiciously. Well, for starters, the Vorg Armada, replied Jenkins casually, as if discussing the weather. Every alien in the room gasped. Nira dropped her datapad. Commander Blackstoid's exoskeleton rattled. The Vorg Armada was destroyed 3 centuries ago, Quarplex said. They're extinct. Actually, Captain Morgan tapped on her device, projecting images of massive, clawed beasts in stasis pods. They're not extinct. They retreated to the galactic rim after we defeated their main fleet. You defeated the Vorg? Commander Blackstoid's voice rose 3 octaves. Impossible. They consumed entire civilizations. Yeah, they tried that with us, said Jenkins, sipping his coffee nonchalantly. Didn't work out for them. As the humans shared battle footage, Quarplex felt something new, admiration mixed with terror. These soft-skinned creatures had accomplished what the combined might of the Union couldn't. We need more allies against threats like the Vorg, explained Captain Morgan. We'd like to formally request membership in your Galactic Union. The room exploded with voices. Commander Blackstoid chittered about protocol violations. Other representatives whispered about the dangers of admitting predator species. Throughout the chaos, Quarplex noticed something. The humans watched with patient amusement, like adults observing squabbling children. "They're not what we expected," Quarplex whispered to Nira. "They're worse," she hissed back. "They defeated the Vorg. What happens when they decide to defeat us?" Quarplex looked at Captain Morgan, who winked at him. "I don't think they want to," he said slowly. "But I'm starting to think we really need them to want to be our friends." The emergency council session had devolved into chaos. Representatives from 17 species shouted over each other while Commander Blackstoid tried to maintain order. "They're dangerous," bellowed Counselor Porlux, pounding his gelatinous fist. "Any species that defeats the Vorg is too powerful to trust." Quarplex, to his own surprise, found himself at the speaker's podium. "Yes, humans are terrifying," he admitted. "They drink poison for pleasure. They come from a planet with crushing gravity. Their endoskeletons are partially made of metal." The council murmured fearfully. "But," continued Quarplex, his skin shifting to confident orange, "they've never attacked us. They defeated our worst enemy and then waited centuries before introducing themselves. Does that sound like a threat?" Commander Blackstoid's mandibles clicked in warning. "Archivist Quarplex, you are not authorized to," the station shuddered violently, cutting her off. Emergency lights flashed. "We're under attack," screamed a security officer. It's the Vorg." The view screen showed 3 massive Vorg battlecruisers, their organic hulls bristling with bioweapons. Panic erupted as everyone scrambled for escape pods. "Told you they weren't extinct," shouted Captain Morgan over the chaos. She and the other humans weren't running. Instead, they were calmly checking strange devices on their wrists. From his hiding spot under the council table, Quarplex watched in fascination. "Aren't you scared?" he called out. "Nah," replied Admiral Jenkins with a grin. "We've got this." The station rocked again as the Vorg breached the outer defenses. Everyone screamed, except the humans, who looked almost excited. "Watch and learn," Captain Morgan winked at Quarplex before speaking into her wrist device. "Morgan to fleet. Execute Plan Foxtrot." Through the view screen, Quarplex saw human ships materialize from nowhere, surrounding the Vorg vessels. "They can turn invisible," he gasped, narrating the battle to the cowering officials. "The humans are firing some kind of concentrated energy weapons." "Oh. The lead Vorg ship just evaporated. The other 2 are retreating, but the human ships are faster. This is simultaneously the most amazing and terrifying thing I've ever..." "Wait, it's over already?" The entire battle had lasted less than 5 minutes. 2 hours later, the vote was unanimous. The humans were welcomed into the Galactic Union with record speed. As the formal ceremony concluded, Admiral Jenkins approached Quarplex. "We need someone who understands us to serve as permanent liaison. The council nominated you." Quarplex's skin cycled through every color in his emotional spectrum before settling on a pleased pink. "Me? But I got everything wrong about humans." "You were willing to learn," said Captain Morgan. "That counts for a lot." Later, as Quarplex packed up his archive cubicle, Nira slid over with 50 galactic reds. "You won the bet," she admitted grudgingly. Quarplex grinned. "Keep it. I just got a 300% pay increase as Senior Human Liaison Officer." "You know what they're calling you in the archives?" Nira asked. "The Human Whisperer." "Better than what they used to call me," Quarplex laughed. "Besides, someone has to explain to the galaxy why humans scream with delight when they're happy and smile when they're about to kill you. It's a weird job, but someone's got to do it."